What's up, YouTube, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, just stick around, see if you like what you see, and if you do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 100 subscribers now, hopefully by the end of the month. Hopefully, if not by the end of the month, then start of February we can hit it. We're currently at 92, so I'd appreciate it if you hit it and leave a like, and let's get to the video. So today's video, we will be talking all things Manchester United. Primarily, I think right now is probably the perfect time to talk about Sané Lammens, especially after his performance against Arsenal. Now, again, his performance wasn't anything crazy. It's what you'd expect of a high-level goalkeeper. But if you've seen my videos before, you know my take on Sané Lammens, you know that I think he's competent. I think he's a far better improvement to Onana and Bayender that we had previously. However, I also don't think he's quite, quite has the goalkeeping abilities of a prime David De Gea, for example, obviously. And I think that's okay. I think that's absolutely okay. He doesn't need to be the greatest shot stopper. He just needs to be, a good, competent goalkeeper that can do the basics to perfection 100% of the time. And I think that's what we need as a club right now, especially... First of all, we've been stuck with Onana, we've been stuck with Bayender for the past 2 years before this season, and geez, it felt like every day there was something to complain about, there was something to say, there was something going on with them. They always cost us games, they couldn't make simple saves, corners, they're so incompetent with corners, and because of that, we brought in Sané Lammens, who we got for, I believe, 18 million. And he wasn't really expected to be a starter this season. It was more of a long-term process. It was more of, we'll bring him in, we'll get him up to speed, he'll train, and then eventually he'll join the first team. Eventually he'll be a starter, hopefully. And he got his opportunity this season because of how bad our goalies have been. And, I mean, he has been... I think the best way to describe Sané Lammens is quiet. And for a goalkeeper, that's probably one of the greatest compliments we can give you. Just because when an outfield player like Bruno Fernandes makes, his 10th mistake in a game, it might not result to a goal. It might never result to a goal. He recovers and that's it, right? It might be a corner, it might be whatever. Oh, just a missed chance or a chance that didn't happen, right? When a goalie makes a mistake, 9 times out of 10, maybe 5 times out of 10, it leads to an error, right? It leads to a goal. It really hurts the team when a goalie makes mistakes. And so because of that, the goalie position tends to be probably the most pressurized position in football. In the sense of, you don't have pressure to score goals, but you have pressure to stop goals. And if something were to go wrong, I mean, all eyes are on you. The whole team is looking at you. You're vulnerable. Your confidence drops significantly. And one thing we have seen, that's exactly what we've seen from Onana and Bayender. Now, against Arsenal, I thought Sané Lammens, first of all, he put off saves that I guess would expect him to save, but I was still surprised that he did it. There's still high quality saves, and you expect a high quality goalkeeper to save those. But you also can't blame him for not saving those, right? We had the header from the corner kick or the cross that Zubimendi did, Zubimendi's header, and he saved that magnificently. It was amazing. It was fantastic. I think that's one where you would expect him to save it, but if he doesn't, it's okay. It's super close. Maybe if it was a little bit off to the side, he might not save it. You can't blame him for that. Saka's near post shot, you always expect every goalkeeper to cover their near post. So you expect him to save that, but regardless, it's definitely a good save. But I think the one thing I can confidently say that I think Sané Lammens does extremely well, especially against a team like Arsenal, where that quality would actually be highlighted, is his ability to come out and claim a cross or a corner and punch it out the box, right? Now, Arsenal, pivoting to Arsenal, they are a fantastic team. I think the way they play is extremely boring. However, you can't fault them. They're first in the league. They're first in the Champions League phase, so they're doing well for themselves. There's a reason for that. They're a fantastic team all around. And I think one of the elements that they use to hurt teams the most is with their corner kicks, right? And their ability to just get it spot on where they want it to be every single time is something that we cannot understate. They have about 2-3 players that can consistently, 10 times out of 10, drop a corner kick with with a centimeter tolerance as to where exactly they want it to be, which is extremely impressive, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for that. Now they make it extremely hard for goalkeepers, where they crowd the goalkeeper box, and the goalkeeper have no space to move, right? And so because of that, it's been completely difficult. Saint Lemens against Arsenal was extremely good at clearing crosses. Now obviously there was that one goal that went in. You can't really blame them for that. You know, it's tough, and eventually they're going to cut through. That's just how good Arsenal are. They're so physical, they're so strong, and they've been doing this for a while now. But out of all the corners they got, he was still able to punch out majority of them, which I think was extremely well. And that's something that if we had Onana, if we had Bayern there, we would have conceded 3 goals, especially in that game. Minimum, just from corners, minimum, because they had no ability to claim those crosses. I think with Saint Lemens, you get confidence, you feel assured, the defense feels assured, the defense feels like you can trust the goalkeeper now. And that's something that we've missed for a while. Even maybe David De Gea's last couple years at United, we've missed that. Where Saint Lemens, first of all, he's good at both feet. He can pass relatively well. I mean, he's not, it's not a standout feature. He's not an Ederson, but he can pass pretty well. His shot stopping, I think, at times can be a little bit better for a high top-class goalkeeper. However, he is still solid, and his ability to claim crosses is magnificent. And I think, considering how young he is, he has just room to improve. He's gonna get better. And so I'm excited to see how good he actually gets. Now, are we in a title charge? I've seen a bunch of things online. I've seen a bunch of people talking, just suggesting it, throwing out there. Manchester United 4th place, 12 points behind Arsenal. Can we catch up with 14 games to go, or 18 games to go, whatever, or 17 games to go, whatever it is. And to that, I just want to say we are absolutely not in a title charge. There's no way. Don't even think about it. Now, if we're able to close the gap to 6 points of Arsenal within maybe, let's say, 6-7 games left. I did it again, I'm so sorry, but genuinely 6-7 games left. Are we then in a title charge? Maybe, 100%. But to say that we're in a title charge now is just a bit too optimistic. Now, I do think where we obviously are in is a Champions League spot, and I think, yes, we don't want to stoop down to our standards as Manchester United. However, I think over the past couple of years, we haven't had Champions League football. We need Champions League football back at United. You can't keep going this long without it. And I think that should be the main focus. Is to win every game. Let's be honest. But I think if we get Champions League spots confidently, a 3rd or 4th place, I think we should really keep our heads high and look to build on that in the future. And if that does happen, in my humble opinion, Michael Carrick has just destroyed 2 of the best teams in the league. And historically, we've always kind of done well with the better teams. It's always the lesser teams that we struggle with. So I think Fulham on the weekend is going to be a real test to see how we perform against a low block, for example. When teams come at us, we're much better than, and when teams come at us and we give them possession, we're much better than. Versus if we have possession, it's a real struggle to try and break apart defenses. So I think during that game against Fulham, we'll really get to see the limits of Michael Carrick's tactics, just the versatility, maybe is the right word. And I think we'll get to see if he's actually a coach competent enough to take us to those higher spots in the Premier League. So I'm excited to see where that happened. This is completely out of my expectation for Michael Carrick. I'll be completely honest. I thought we'd drown even further. I was even thinking, okay, we play Man City, we play Arsenal, we lose both those games, but at least maybe we could try and beat Fulham. That's where my head's at. I'll be happy with that. He has entirely blown my expectations through the roof, through the walls, and I just have no words. I am completely dumbfounded. To win both those games against Arsenal and against City is just completely insane. And I really hope that we can continue moving forward with our run, and hopefully that guy can get a haircut, man, because it's been too long. He needs a haircut. 5 games in a row, can we win that? Our fixture list, it's tricky. I think Michael Carrick has obviously exceeded expectations these past couple games. I don't see a reason why he can't continue to do that, but time will tell. But anyway, if you like the video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe as well. I'd love to hear your comments below as well if you have any takes. Do you think Manchester United is in the title charge? Do you think we have a chance of finishing top 3, top 2? We're still 6 points behind City and Aston Villa, so there's still a long way to go. But where do you think we'll finish by the end of the season? I'd love to hear your thoughts below, and